Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm John Rakowski, and this is going to be another good 5 minutes with my guest today, Miss Laura Brown. Laura, how are you?
I'm good. How are you
So, where are
today?
you joining me from today? What part of the world?
We are in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I've never been in Oklahoma. I drove from Colorado to Buffalo on my way back to go back overseas in the military, but I don't believe I was through Oklahoma. So, what's it like in Oklahoma?
Green is very green here.
Yeah.
Coming from Colorado, it's a lot more flat because we have the mountains. But yeah, it's real green and lush. It is humid. So that was a big change for us moving here. But it's real beautiful country, and we live in the country around cattle farms. So
Wow.
we're
Where'd
definitely
you move from?
well, I'm originally from New York, Rochester, upstate, and then to Colorado.
I didn't know
We
that.
were
I didn't
in
know you were a
Lora.
West New Yorker like me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was it was a challenge.
Yeah, of course it
But
was. I know
so
that you are most of your business right now revolves around virtual assistants, and we'll get to that in a second. But I want to know, why did you leave corporate America and to create your own business?
well, I had spent 15 years in corporate, and with the realization, I come from a generation where you're grateful to be working and have a paycheck. I had gone into corporate a little less than 2 years before the recession in '08 and realized that I was going to stay a lot longer than I initially planned. And then I thrived there for many years. I learned a lot and was there. And then started kind of having to deal with more of the politics of corporate and the realization of what it's really like to be a woman in corporate and how hard it was. I got, the kind of the patronizing part of it. So you're very passionate, but we've got this handled. And so I felt like I wasn't utilizing my skills and my knowledge in the way that would be helpful to the world. And I've always been more of a servant heart. So I wanted to take what I knew and bring that out. So I left corporate. Um, Probably not the best way. Usually you have an exit plan. And instead I was just like, I'm out, and let's figure out what's next. And the idea of going back into another corporate kind of career was not on my radar. I did not want to do that anymore. So starting a business, as scary as it was, and not something I'd really thought about before, I jumped into it full fledged, just
Well, good
both
for you.
feet. Let's see how this turns out.
Well,
And
good for you. And how's it been so far? And how long have you been doing the virtual assistant gig, and how's it going?
well, I did the freelancing for about, I don't know, 6 months or so, and then realized that I needed to create an actual business with a team, and the support behind me, to really make this what it needed to be. So we built it out into an agency model instead, and just ran with it from there. And it's been really amazing to, we primarily have women VAs. So being able to give them a voice, help them strategize, problem solve, work for their businesses in ways that doesn't just create that you're just my administrative and I just need you to check off boxes, but to be an integral part of all of our clients' businesses
Wonderful.
with ideas and
And I've learned that you're very involved in nonprofits as well, right?
yes,
So how
yes.
can obviously that's a very it's good to give back and to help others that are helping others. And I guess that the VAs can be very supportive as well to those nonprofits. So how basically do you work VAs with nonprofits?
Well, since VAs as contractors as we are can be somewhat expensive, so what we do for our nonprofits in our communities, and I encourage all my VAs to find their niche in their community that they love. But we help with raffles and fundraising and things like that. We kind of raffle ourselves off our time. I have several nonprofits in the area where I will give them a couple months of time to get things going, whether it's social media, get them on a good routine and organization to help bring out their nonprofit to do for fundraising and things like that. So we give a lot of our time. I pretty much implement that. About 10% of my schedule is given out for free for those nonprofits that are in an area where they can raise large amounts of funds, but they give large amounts of money to the community. So
Sure.
there's a balance there.
So
So
I'm assuming you've got a few of your favorite nonprofits.
I do. I love
Okay, we'll
animals.
chat about
So
them quickly. Go ahead.
So I am into animal rescue, and that was something I've been from a child. So I definitely support the animal rescues, not necessarily the shelter that's government funded, but the rescues on the side that pull from the shelters and do the life-saving surgeries and help out with the strays and injured animals and abused, neglected, those kinds of things. I do a lot of rehab and training with them, on top of helping administratively. And I've been known to jump out of moving vehicles after stray animals and different things like that. So I have a big heart where I'm the ones climbing under the tree in the mud and the yuck, trying to get a dog to come to me and love me,
I know somebody that's just like you, one of my former realtors here, Heather, and I'm sure she's going to watch this because I'll tag her on the darn thing. But she never has never found a stray she doesn't love and take home or find a good home for. So
Yeah.
that's great. And I'm guessing that your VAs are U.S. based versus overseas. Why did you go that route? Because obviously it's a little bit more expensive hiring U.S. based VAs. So what
Yeah.
was the thought process with that?
Part of it was time zones and timing and when work can get completed. Also, I'm a big supporter of where we are economically here in the US. And the VAs, we struggle here with our own household costs and our own business costs and things like that. So bringing that here home, and having that ability to offer that for US based companies. And though we do work with businesses overseas, that helps them also have the native US based, if they've got licensing issues in any way, and can't work with people overseas. And that gives them the ability to have an agency that's established with those vetted US VAs that are here for them in those ways. So, sometimes we have issues with accents and time zones and different stuff. Communication is hard. And I know as a business owner, when I'm having a hard time communicating, it just makes it a lot harder. So we try really hard to just
And
focus on that, make it easy.
if there was one thing that you could debunk as far as what people think of VAs, what are some things that people quite just do not quite understand what VAs are and what they can do?
I think people have a hard time with the idea of how much we can do virtually. We literally can run everything virtually. You can be home and get everything done for an office setting that you would normally. The other part is that we're not, just the typical entry level administrative. We have problem solving skills and we have solutions and we have resources that are out of this world because we're constantly working on all of that stuff. So we're not just the person in the corner taking the notes and making sure it all just kind of puts together. We're the project management that makes sure it all runs smoothly so that our CEOs and our clients can go on vacation, spend time with their families, trust us to have everything running as they would doing the work themselves. So
Wonderful. So I will share I'm sure you've got a website that people can go to look about, get more information about you, right? So we'll put that in the video right below here. But if people wanted to get a hold of you today, what would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
the website is good. I'm also on LinkedIn. I do a lot of messaging through LinkedIn. And a lot of times people just hop on my calendar to sit down and have a consultation. We do free consultations and get into the nitty gritty of what it's about and what we can do for them. So those are a lot of times the best way where, they're on my calendar and then I do some research and we have a meeting and it works out really nice. So,
Great.
but a direct message in LinkedIn or even an introduction, warm introductions are really, really good for us, referrals and stuff that way.
And lastly, is there one business that you have been able to help more than other types of businesses, or is it pretty much, there's numerous different businesses that you're able to help?
Because we're an agency, I'm able to be more broad in who we help. Where my VAs niche down into specific areas. So we do things like construction, service-based industry, construction, interior design. Those are all project-based kind of work, as well as, coaches, authors, speakers. Real estate agents are notorious for using VAs because it helps keep them organized. So we're able to help that broader range, and I can pair them up with a VA that's niched into their expertise. So
Wonderful. Well, since you have a fairly common name, Lora Brown, if we went to LinkedIn, there's probably going to be more than one. I'm guessing I'm going to use I'll put that in the, to be able to click on to connect with you directly below this video. Okay.
absolutely.
Any final words that you'd like to share with the group?
But we love helping small businesses. We are definite cheerleaders, and being a small business ourselves, that's where most of our support goes. We're trying to, be the little guy in the big pond and make us the big guys. So, and make your businesses the big guys. So we are definitely here to help out, and just calm the chaos for everyone that's kind of going on in their business. So.
Well, I'm glad we spent a few minutes. I got to know you a little bit better. I'm grateful for you taking a few minutes to spend with me so I can help you grow your business and help other businesses grow by using VAs. Like you mentioned in our M3 forums, it's like, let's do the things that you do best and let us help you with those things that you may not have the time for that get put on the back burner. So, Lora, thank you very much. Be safe this summer in Oklahoma. And I will see you next week. And to all our family and friends and colleagues out there, I'm John Rakowski. That's Lora Brown. And I'm glad you spent a few minutes with us today. All the best. Have a great weekend. Peace.
Have a great weekend, everyone.